this truck, and we're gonna go in a second and talk to the owner, Paul.
I'm very excited. I'm personally very hungry right now, so some free donuts would not hurt.
Oh, not at all. It's gonna be delicious.
So we obviously came 3 years ago.
What's your backstory? Like, how did you get here?
So how I got here at this store is pretty interesting. So summer of 2015, my family, so my wife and my two children, then they were 8 and 13. We traveled down to the lower Delaware, Rehoboth Beach area. And there's a donut shop there that we frequent often when we're on vacation called the Fresh Prune. And it's a little bit different. It's you walk in and you can always walk out with a hot, fresh donut. So on the way back from that trip, 2.5 years ago, my son, who was 8 at the time, said, "Dad, like Syracuse needs like hot donuts." So on the 6-hour ride home, this whole concept was created. And the idea was we told our children that if they will kind of help them make that dream tangible as long as they give back 10% to a local charity and they work the stand. So originally we were set up and designed to just do like a festival.
We got the background on your business. Obviously, started as a fair. You started doing it at fairs as like a pop-up shop. We're just curious, what was that transition like, going from being an only fair donut shop and then coming to having your standalone store?
Yeah, so it's a great journey. Like we didn't think that we were ever going to go into a brick and mortar. I was kind of fearful of brick and mortars. I didn't know if the city could support like a boutique shop. But as we found success at the festivals and our Instagram and social medias grew, we just thought we'd give it a shot, and it's been great ever since. We launched November 16th, 2017, so we're going to be celebrating 5 years here in a month, which is awesome. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. Took total chance on the spot. We love the location. We're on a one-way. We're not in the heart of downtown Syracuse, so you don't have to like fight parking. You can pull in and pull out. And knock on wood, it's been great for us.
Oh, that's awesome.
5 years is incredible. Are you guys doing anything special to celebrate?
Yeah, we're actually planning the anniversary party now. We're gonna have a full day of events, free T-shirts, giveaways, $5 dozens all day. So it'll be a great day.
So of course, one of the most pressing questions right now would be about COVID-19. We're just kind of curious because we didn't talk about this obviously last time we met with you. How has COVID-19 impacted your business?
Yeah, so I'm almost ashamed to say we actually found success during 2020. Pure luck. We had our food truck that we bought in the fall of 2019. And then we took the food truck, we put it out in the neighborhoods, so there was pre-orders, half dozen, dozens. We found success from April till July with the food truck. So it was actually a decent year for us. I think right now, like in the last couple of weeks have been a little weird. I think you have like stimulus money's gone, you have COVID kind of revamping, and I think people are kind of staying a little bit tight to home. But thankfully we made it through COVID, and we're continuing to move forward with whatever kind of comes our way.
It's amazing that you're able to kind of bring your donuts out to people. That's really wonderful to hear. Yeah. Did you guys have any like special interactions with certain people, like regulars that you would see all the time during the start of the pandemic?
Yeah. So great question. So Syracuse is still, obviously you guys know, it's a small community and it's a small city, but there's still like the suburban families that don't like to venture downtown for whatever reason, parking or fearful or haven't been downtown in a while. So when we created this program, it worked out really well where they could order a half dozen or a dozen. We brought them door side so they knew the hour. Hey, it worked out well with our product. It's not pizza where it could get cold. So the donuts worked. Everyone was home, right? Kids were home, parents were home, so they would wait for that hour. And then what we did was we saw that we built relationships with the suburban families, and now we see them coming down on weekends. So it really worked out well, and it was something that we're thankful for.
So you talked about your connection with the local community. Even further going upon that, do you have any connection with like local businesses or other nearby restaurants, stores, whatever that you work closely with?
Yeah, so I mean, Syracuse is a small community, and a lot of us business owners know each other. We collaborate as often as possible. We've done things, and we're going to continue to do things like we're working, like we did with a bakery in Jamesville, Half Moon Bakery. We used mini Half Moons on one of our donuts, so we collaborated that way. We're actually working soon with a donut beer that's going to be pairing, so that'll be coming out. So as often as we can, we'll partner up with local businesses to give like a 1-2 punch, and that always works well.
Yeah, we noticed that you also partner with Salt City Coffee.
We do. So we have Salt City coffee, cold brew, and hot coffee. Pretty much we buy as local as we can. So like when apples are in season, we'll buy locally. There's been a weird movement on the supply-demand chain, so some products been difficult to get, but we always will source locally first.
Do you want to talk about, you mentioned to us earlier about how you're collabing with Beacon Skip and other apple orchards?
Yeah. So there's a couple of places in town, the Hollow being one of them, that have always provided cider donuts. They're actually kind of our competition in the fall, right? But that's okay. Like, it's so fun for families to go out to these and feel it's like it's upstate New York at its best, right? So a lot of them are having staffing issues, so we're providing cider donuts for those orchards. That's been a little boost as well. We get to help them, so we're kind of partnering with them in that nature. They're finding that using our name for the donuts is building a little bit more of a buzz as well. So it's kind of a win-win for both of us.
So I think this is a good transition to talk about, your actual product. We're curious because you have such, unique flavors compared to normal donut shops. Just how do you come up with new flavor ideas?
Yeah, so that's another great question. So primarily they'll rotate based on season, right? So right now we're getting into like today's specials of filled salted caramel apple, sea salt, tomorrow's pumpkin. And the seasons will lend themselves to traditional flavors, right? Holidays will go into some holiday flavors, and then we kind of ramp in. Outside of that, I'm a big ice cream guy. So when Ben & Jerry's launches a new flavor, we'll kind of piggyback and use those flavors. And then twice a year, we'll have a contest online where people can kind of create a name and a flavor, and we'll get thousands of entries. And then, we can kind of use them and utilize them throughout the year. So yeah.
Ice cream and donut sounds pretty good to me.
That sounds like the perfect treat for the summertime. I love that. And then also, last time we were here, you mentioned that you guys try to choose a charity every month. So we're wondering if you guys are continuing doing that.
We are. So mission from day one was to give back, and we still do that as often as we possibly can. We just worked on a campaign with United Way. We're going to be doing a breast cancer donut next week. So that's still in our bloodline, and we will continue doing that until we're done making donuts.
Sounds great to me.
That's amazing to hear that not only are you guys providing sweet treats for the community, but you're also giving back in such a wonderful way.
Yeah.
Where did the business name come from? I think we talked about that before, but just to reiterate
I
it.
figured it might be Glazed and Confused.
Totally. So it was a 6-hour ride home from Rehoboth Beach. Kids in the back seat. Oh no way. Okay, yeah. So it was. So we go to the Fractured Prune when we're on vacation. On the way home, it was like, how come there's not a shop like that in Syracuse? And long story short, it was just like bouncing ideas. Like the word glaze came up, Dazed and Confused, then it went glazed. And it just kind of happened organically through conversation with the kids.
I love the Fractured Prune. It's great. I don't know if you've been there. It's a great place in Rehoboth Beach. They're pretty famous there. And finally, if you want to ask a question about what the flavor is.
Oh, yes, this is a great question to ask the owner of a donut shop. What's your favorite donut flavor?
So I have two, I guess. I'm a chocolate guy, so our blackout is just chocolate on chocolate on chocolate.
Nice.
So every once in a while. And then, you know what? I lend myself to going to the classic, like a hot cinnamon sugar out of the oven, grab some coffee. I don't drink coffee, so dip it and go. And then I probably lean to like the maple cream cheese, like French toast flavors is a favorite of mine.
You know, just told us that this is a whole family business.
Yes, yeah.
So how's it like being involved with your whole family, getting to like run the shop?
It's good. It's sometimes challenging because it's my family, but it's fun. It's nice to be all together, and it's something that we can all talk about and kind of be on the same page. And we're here a lot on the weekends, so I try and work on the weekends, and then not as much during the weeks I'm in classes. So just on the weekends we can all be here together and kind of like be doing something together. My brother's 14, so it's a little bit of a challenge, but it's fun. It's always a fun time. It's always something to talk about.
So we asked your father what his favorite flavor is. He talked about the blackout. He's a big shopping guy.
Yes.
What's your favorite flavor?
Mine's a cinnamon roll. That was kind of like, I was like, we need something on the menu, like cinnamon bun, cinnamon roll, and it's super popular. So it's a cinnamon glaze, cinnamon streusel with like cream cheese on top, and it's super popular, and I love it. It's my favorite.
That does sound delicious.
It is really good.
We had so much fun this side of Glazed and Confused. So now we're gonna head over to the kitchen to make a Glazed and Confused inspired recipe.
Hey hungry people, I'm Caroline.
And I'm Blair, and we had so much fun at Glazed and Confused that now we're back in the kitchen to try to recreate one of their recipes.
Well, Blair, this recipe is going to be inspired by the donini at Glazed and Confused.
Yes, the wake me up before you go.
Oh yes. And I'm very excited because breakfast sandwiches are one of my favorite foods. I mean, it's breakfast in one bite. It's all the greatest parts of breakfast in your mouth at one time.
And I think debatably breakfast is the greatest meal of the day.
Oh,
like
100%.
the pancakes, the waffles, the bacon.
Sweet, savory, anytime.
Oh, all
Anytime.
in one. All in one.
Alright, so the ingredients for this recipe are going to be eggs, brown sugar, powdered sugar.
You're also going to need some bagels. We have ours pre-sliced, and some bacon, which we're going to be brushing with maple syrup and brown sugar, and then throwing in the oven. And then we also need shredded cheese and maple syrup.
Bacon is arguably one of my favorite foods, I must say.
And Caroline, I would definitely agree with you on that because I truly think I'd be vegetarian if it wasn't for bacon and chicken nuggets.
I mean, especially this candied bacon, you know, it's going to be a little sweeter. You've got the salt from the bacon, so a little sweet and salty action never hurts anyone.
I've never had candied bacon before. I'm actually so excited to try this out.
Oh, candied bacon is absolutely delicious, so I hope this will be too.
Alright guys, after washing our hands off from the maple syrup brown sugar mix, this recipe is ready for the oven.
Alright, so in the oven, it's going to be at 400 degrees. You're going to place it in there for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, we're going to pull it out, flip all the bacon, and do the same thing that we just did to the opposite side.
And if you want an extra kick to this bacon, you can add cayenne or black pepper to the top of it.
Yes, and while this is cooking, we're going to be making our maple glaze for our sandwich, which is going to be powdered sugar and maple syrup.
Alright, so we just took the bacon out of the oven and now we're going to flip it. Alright, now we're spraying our pan as we get ready to fry our egg.
Alright, our bagels are toasted, our bacon is flipped, and it's now out of the oven.
And our eggs are all good now. So what we're gonna do next is assemble the whole thing. So we're gonna take our glaze right here, drizzle it on inside the bagels, put our eggs on top, put our bacon on top, and it'll be all done. Most delicious thing ever.
It actually looks like my favorite food in the entire universe, so I cannot wait to eat this. But first, that is all for College Eats. Follow us on socials at S2 College Eats on both Instagram and TikTok.
We're so happy you guys joined us today. Have a great day.